car is every American's dream, especially living in California, a state with the most new car buyers per year. With more and more luxury cars in the media, car sales are on the rise, and so are car loans. But not all car loans are legitimate. As car consumer attorney Steve Solomon explains, something to watch out for is yo-yo financing.
When they first came in and signed the contract to buy the car, they got a call 3 days later from the salesman saying, "We couldn't finance you, and could you come back and sign another contract?"
I had this car for about a week. Showed it to my homies, my girl, but then I got a call from the dealership saying my financing didn't go through and my credit score was too low to qualify for the loan at the original rate.
So they came back, they signed another contract. Turned out on the contract the price of the car was higher, the interest rate was higher.
They try and trick you and get as much money as they possibly can.
That's all illegal. That's what's called a yo-yo sale. The price of the car goes up. The price of the interest rate goes up.
You can't trust these guys. Trust yourself and protect your wallet.
Customers feel like they have no choice. Well, they do. And the dealers never tell you that you do. If you can't get financed the first time, within 10 days, that sale, that contract is broken.
To protect yourself, obtain your own credit score in advance. Don't get financing through the dealership. Shop for a loan before you go to the dealership. Get better rates from your bank or credit union. Get legal advice before signing another contract. Many car buyers get trapped into loan packing, where dealers take advantage of buyers with car fever and push extras and add-ons to inflate the overall cost.
Loan packing would be adding things on like service contract, pinstriping, all these things into the loan that aren't disclosed, so that you undercoating, overcoating, leather protection, and you never ask for it, it's never disclosed to you, but somehow the loan just starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Dealerships, they always try to smooth talk you into buying all these extras. Also, just when I first bought my car, I didn't even pay attention to all the add-ons like rust proofing, leather protection, theft protection. I pretty much fell for it. My loans got bigger. I ended up wasting a lot of money on some things I never really need in the first place.
The dealers make an incredible profit on one of these service contracts. The cost to a dealer is $200, $300, $400. They sell these things for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. It is pure profit.
Many car buyers get trapped into loan packing, where dealers take advantage of buyers with car fever and push extras and add-ons to inflate the overall cost. To avoid loan packing, remember, don't catch car fever. Do the math. Don't fall for the extras, like theft etching, rust proofing, leather protection, gap insurance, extended service contracts. One reason some car buyers end up taking their car back is because they find out their car has been previously damaged, and this was not disclosed when purchased.
And fraud is something like blood car that comes from New Orleans that has its title washed and it's sold here as a new or nearly new car without that history being disclosed. I also don't think people are active enough in asserting their rights.
To avoid fraud, test drive the car. Get the car inspected by a trusted mechanic before you buy. A typical car inspection costs $50. If the car dealership says no to a car inspection, don't buy it. Today we're at Excalibur Auto Works to ask them what tips they can give to new car buyers.
Someone brings me a car, we check it over top to bottom, under the hood, under the car. We look at the brakes, we look at the condition of the tires. We check to see if there's any leaks externally in the engine compartment and also below the car. The engine oil, gaskets, transmission gaskets, brake leaks. We look at the condition of the hoses and belts and look to see if there's been any body damage or any bad accidents where there might be frame damage.
Bringing my car into a mechanic was the best thing I could have done when I bought a car. I mean, I never been able to tell if it had major damage from a previous car wreck, and it had. The frame was actually broken in half and they welded it back together.
Things that a consumer can do when they check is checking the coolant by opening the radiator always when it's cold and just checking to see if it's full of coolant, if it's low or not, if there's a leak. Checking the color of the coolant, see if it looks nice and bright. Also checking the dipstick, this one's nice and clean, as you can see, it's clear. When the oil gets old, it varnishes up, and you can see the varnish on the dipstick right there. And that's what that brown material is on the dipstick. So if you see a lot of that, oil's in there, it's been there a long time. Sometimes you're buying a car, that has a hidden problem that, you may not find out till later. So it's very wise to have it checked out by somebody. The best thing you can do is at least have somebody with professional knowledge check it out.
To find a mechanic, check cartalk.com and go to the mechanic files. Car consumers should follow these basic tips to avoid the most common scams. Compare dealership interest and loan rates. Don't catch car fever. Save for a down payment. Do the research. Use the Kelley Blue Book and find out your own credit scores. Review contracts carefully.